Hey y'all, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to From the Holler. My name is Missy, and this is the one and only
Adon!
Whoop Whoop. So, I have had several questions about homeschool and requests for a video about homeschool and things like that, and how we do things and why we homeschool and all that. So I'm just going to get right into it, and we're going to answer some of y'all's questions today and hopefully explain why we homeschool, how we homeschool, and what we feel like the benefits of homeschool are for us. So let's get started. So one of the biggest questions that I get asked is, why did I decide to homeschool versus public school? Well, there are several reasons. He did start out in public school in our little county here in East Tennessee, and he made it all of about 6 weeks. And during those 6 weeks, I had him at the doctor's office more in that little bit of time than I had him in the doctor's office in the past, 2 or 3 years. Okay. He missed a lot. He got the big C word. He got strep. He got the flu. There were several things that hit him all at once. And I know that, the beginning of the school year, that's going to happen. It's normal, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. But the state sent me a nice little letter telling me that if he missed any more school, whether it was covered by a doctor's note or what, even though we had doctor's notes for every day he missed, they were still unexcused. The state does not see it as being excused, and that, any more days and we were going to have to go to truancy court. He's in kindergarten. Give them a little bit of leeway here. It's the first time they've been in school. Their little immune systems are, just being attacked on every side. But yeah, send me a letter like that. That's great. We were trying to do what we could do, but I could not send him to school with a fever and vomiting and all the things. I thought I was doing the right thing. Clearly, they did not feel the same way. So we did what we needed to do, and he was starting to get better with things, and then the bottom fell out. So for this part, I've asked him to step out of the room so that I can speak freely about what happened next. Now, you all know the situation as far as he's concerned. We have custody of him, and he lives with us, and others are not in the picture. Okay? And apparently the school system took it upon themselves to put him, along with a few others, into a emotions class to learn how to deal with his situation. I was not privy to this information. I had no knowledge that even such a class existed until one day I picked him up at school, and there is a lady in the car rider's line that was helping him get in the car, and I asked who that was, and he told me that that was his emotions group teacher. And I didn't understand what he was saying at first, and I said, "You're what?" And he said, "My emotions group teacher." "Your what?" "My emotions group teacher." I said, "What is emotions group?" And he told me that that's where they were learning to handle their emotions. If they were sad, how to handle that. If they were mad, how to handle that. They were asking questions about things that was none of their business. They did not need to know about. Point blank, period. None of that needed to be brought up, especially in a classroom setting. And again, I had no knowledge that even that type of class existed. And I started asking questions then. I needed information right then. Now, that wasn't the only thing, okay? That wasn't the only thing that made us take notice and be like, no. There were other things being taught in the classroom that we were not comfortable with. There were books being read and being offered in the library. And do not even come at me over books, okay? Because, no. The book I'm talking about was by someone that was in the media very often, and I'm not going to call out names because no, I'm not going there. Y'all can figure this out yourselves. Someone that was in the media for refusing to take a knee during the national anthem. Got that whole BS craze started, and y'all already know how I feel about unpatriotic people. So this was a book. Who knew he wrote children's books? That was bothersome enough. But yeah, that was being read and in the library and stuff like that. And no. Now, when I questioned one of the school authorities, when I made the decision to pull him out, I go through an umbrella school here in Tennessee. That way, all I have to do is put in our attendance and the grades, what I'm teaching him at home, and they handle the rest. They handle everything, okay? I pay, I think it's $65 a year for this umbrella school. And that's it. I pick out the curriculum. I have total control over what I teach my child. Okay? But I had to go, when I called the school to tell them that I was pulling him from school, I was told that I had to talk to this person that is involved in the school district, and that they had to give me the okay to pull my child out of school. First of all, I don't need your okay. Second of all, me and this man have went round and round before years ago, and I knew exactly who I was fixing to deal with, and I went prepared. And he proceeded to ask me why, and I told him, here's my reasons why. And I said, no, but first of all, nobody told me that he was in an emotions class. And second of all, it's none of your business. That's not your job to teach my child morals and values. That's my job. And at that point in time, he proceeded to tell me that it was their job, that a lot of parents were too dumb to teach their children how to handle their emotions, and that's why bullying in the schools were so bad. So this county has taken it upon themselves, and I do not want to see my county name pop up in the comments, okay? I'm keeping the county name out of this. Nothing needs to be said. So, yeah, that they took it upon themselves to teach the children how to behave. First of all, I don't want any school system teaching my child morals and values. That's not their job. That's my job, okay? I don't know what their morals and values are. I don't have a clue. I know what mine are. I know what my children have grown up with. And I think that, for the most part, they've turned out really good. And that's the same thing I want to raise my grandson with. But he sat there and tried to condone what they were doing. Condone the other things that they were teaching in kindergarten. This wasn't in the upper grades. This was in kindergarten within the first 6 weeks. And when I let him know that I was pulling my child out of that school system, whether he okayed it or not, and I didn't care what he had to say, then he told me, he said, well, good luck with that, and hung up. I had already signed up with the umbrella school before I ever called the school system, and the umbrella school had sent for the paperwork to be sent to them, his information and paperwork and all that. And I called the lady with the umbrella school, and I told her, I said, prepare to be bluffed or stalled or whatever they can do. And she said, oh no, they've already sent the stuff. We've got you. So, yeah. It went smoothly after that. So I can't complain there. Another question that we get quite often is, what curriculum do you use, and how do you decide what curriculum you're going to use? And I'll be honest with you, I was kind of thrown into the whole homeschooling thing last year and went completely into panic mode, and joined all the groups and things like that, the homeschool groups and all that. I put way too much thought into it. I put way too much stress on myself, way too much stress on him. And once I figured out that, this is not the public school system, I don't have to teach him like that, and started changing some things and not being as strict on everything like I was, things got better for us. He started having more fun. He started enjoying things more. I started enjoying things more. I wasn't as rigid. I wasn't as stressed. I wasn't as uptight. And he saw that, right? Yeah. So this year we're even doing things even more different. Last year, I'll be honest, I went to Books A Million and I grabbed a lot of our curriculum from there. And because, curriculum it can be expensive, okay? And so I went and we were looking, and honestly, it was kindergarten. He needed the basics.
Let's just say things started going back uphill.
Yeah. So he needed the basics, okay? He didn't need the fancy stuff. He didn't need the name brand stuff. He just needed the basics to get started in kindergarten. Now, I did have a goal, and I was almost certain that we could accomplish this because he was I had already been working with him before school ever started. So I knew kind of where he was at. And I did have a goal to have him reading by December. No, by the end of the year. By the end of kindergarten. I had a goal to have him reading. Well, he surprised me. And we achieved the reading goal. And I mean full-on reading by December. So... And now we're doing chapter books, and he's in first grade, here at the beginning of first grade. So, yeah, there's that.
And in the middle of that reading challenge, that entire reading challenge, I had just read a good 15 books.
He did. Over the summer, we did a reading challenge just to kind of keep him up to date and keep him on his toes a little bit. And he read 15 books, and I'm not talking like little storybooks or anything like that. He read 15 books over the summer. I could not be any more proud than I am of him for that. But I'm going to take you all into our homeschool area. I have our homeschool area in the corner of my living room, and I have all of his stuff set up. He knows where everything's at, and I know where everything's at, and we just pull from there on a daily basis, and I'll kind of show you how we do what we do. Okay? So let's go in the living room. So this right here is his little area, his little homeschool area, and we have some games. Excuse me, sir. Can I get through here? We've got some games here. Disgusting biology. We like to get some of these. We find these at Books A Million and sometimes even at yard sales and stuff. And we kind of buy these up so that when it coincides with what we're studying in science, then we bring these out. Space Discovery, Science Magic Kit, and then Amazing World Bugs, so kind of like a creepy crawly. We have several different things here. We have the state capitals. We're going to be learning those this year. And of course our Bible. We have these little mini books, and they coincide with some of our science, so we read those. This is all of our chapter books down here, and he is loving the Junie B. Jones series. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's loving that series. We have Diary of a Wimpy Kid. We have all kinds of things. So we've got his little library started down there, and hopefully we can get through this whole stack of books. Woo! Hello. This whole stack of books by the end of this year. That would be awesome. We'll see how he does, but no pressure. If he does, he does, and if he doesn't, they'll be here next year.
That's
So
a lot of books.
I know it is, but I know you can do it. And then of course we've got these hanging up on the wall. We've got multiplication. We've got a map of the United States, the parts of speech, and of course the Pledge of Allegiance. We do that every morning. And then this is what we're using for right now. He is doing second grade math and a few other things that are on the second grade level.
A first grader with a second grade stuff.
Yep.
That's what I.
There's some first grade. Y'all, I'm not using anything expensive for his curriculum. Not this year. And maybe not next year. I have some little worksheets here. We do some worksheets every now and then. But I'm not doing anything expensive. Nothing. We will get into more complex curriculums and things like that. 3rd, 4th grade. But right now, what we need to be working on can be found right here in these books. in his Bible lesson, his Bible curriculum, and things like that. Everything he needs to learn. It's right there on that. And that's not expensive at all. As a matter of fact, I probably have about between $125 and $150, and that's including the games and all these. Okay, all he needs right now is just the basics. So that's what we're working on. That's what we're building on, and then we'll move on up into sturdier curriculum in a year or two, depending on how he does and where he lands at the end of the year. So what I do with these is you can see they're all labeled Monday through Friday. I go through the books that we have up there on the shelves, and I put his worksheets and his little mini books in here so that he knows what he has to do each day. And Monday through Friday. And then in my planner, and I'll show you my planner here in just a few minutes. In my planner, I plan out field trips. I plan out, real life days, because we do have real life days where he learns to cook. We have physical education. He's learning to garden. He's learning to fix things. He's learning to sew. He is going to know how to be self-sufficient when he gets older. In this big binder, I keep all of his worksheets, and all of these, if I can get them up here, all of these are the ones that we've completed so far this year, and there are a bunch. That's everything we've completed.
And there's a little folder just built into here.
Mm-hmm. We don't have to keep these in Tennessee. We don't have to keep up with these, but I like to. That way, if anything is ever said, I can show them, whoever them may be, I can show them the work that he's done, the progress that he's made, and no questions will be asked from there. Alright, y'all, that answers the questions. I hope I got to all of them. If I didn't, please leave your questions below, or feel free to email me your questions. I will be more than happy to talk about this till the cows come home, because this is something I believe in. It's something that I believe is good for not just my child, but just children in general, and it can be done. Is it going to be hard in the beginning? Yes, it is, because you've got to get adjusted. They've got to get adjusted. Give it time. Give yourself grace. I promise you, you're not going to screw anything up. Okay? You're not going to break anything. I promise you that. Okay? I do. I promise you. Give yourself grace. Give your child grace. It'll be fine. But if y'all have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments or email me. I'd be more than happy to talk to y'all about it. I wish every child could be homeschooled. I know that that's an impossibility. But I feel like if you have the opportunity and you can do it, do it. Our children are not being taught the morals and values that they need to be taught in public schools. Okay? They are not. And it's sad. It is sad. It is not the same school system that I was in back in the 70s and 80s. It's nowhere near. Nowhere near. It's scary now. But your children are being taught things that you may not even know about. I would have never, ever known had, he not just one day said something. I don't know that any of us know what our children are being taught in the school system. And for it to be going on in this tiny little school system where I live, and when I say tiny, I mean tiny, for it to be going on here in our little school system, and they're covering it up and they're defending it, I have an issue with that. It can be happening on a bigger, worse level in some of these bigger cities and communities and counties and all the things. And maybe this is the trickle down effect, and this is what's hit our little area first or right now. I don't know. I have 2 other grandchildren in school, in public school. One is in high school, one just started kindergarten, and I worry about those children. I do. I worry about those children. It's not my decision as to whether or not they get sent to public schools or they get homeschooled or whatever. It's not my decision, and I have to respect my children's wishes. But, I would fall on the side of homeschool, knowing what I know. And y'all, there's a whole lot more that I'm not willing to say. Okay, I'm not willing to put out here on the platform, on the channel. So just know that there are more reasons as to why I pulled him out of public school, and why I am such a huge advocate for homeschooling, and why I worry as bad as I do for my other grandchildren. What are you doing, dude? So, anyway, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here. If you don't mind, give us a big thumbs up on this video. Hit that subscribe button. Share our channel. Share. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, yes.
Sharing is caring. Share the channel. Share the video. And be blessed, y'all. Be extremely blessed. I wish nothing but huge blessings for each and every one of you. And I'm always here if you have any questions. All you got to do is ask. And I'll be more than happy to try to help you in any way that I can. Okay? Any way that I can. Much love to y'all, and we will see you all tomorrow. Bye, y'all.